Hello, welcome to what I think is the final update for this Polish 1st Armored Division project. I don't know if you saw my basing video with the base woodland basing, the 8th rifles. If you haven't, I'll put a card up on in the corner for you to check that out. But if you saw that, you might be wondering why this took so long to come out. Because actually, even though I quickly got all the basing done, I had discovered in a little bit of extra research that I had gotten some of the insignia wrong. As it turns out, the Polish 1st Armored Division was, it did have the black epaulets on it on the shoulder, but it was only the left shoulder. And what I found out is that as a clarification it was originally up through February of 1945, it was only on the soldiers who were part of the 10th Motorized Regiment or Brigade. So it would be the Dragoons. It wouldn't be the rifles. So I had to go through and paint the epaulets on all the rifles, these units up in front. All of them I had to paint over with the English uniform color on both sides, and the right epaulets on the rest of the guys I had to paint with that English uniform. Then go back, and for the NCOs and officers, go back and put the ranks on. So a little extra work in the process, but I got it done. Since I'm basing most of my army on the 1944 army, that I'm going to have to kind of separate it out a little bit there. So, but what I've got completed are two platoons, at least from a bolt action perspective. The 8th rifles on the front here these are both under strength. Platoon is normally 37 men, but the 8th rifles here, excluding this officer who right now counts as my one of my artillery observers, this is only 19, whereas the 10th Dragoons are only 25 out of 37. So these are definitely under strength platoons, but they are two full platoons that I'll be able to field in a list. So right now, this will get me almost to 1,000 points without use of, like the tanks or whatever. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. So now the last thing that needs to be done on these, I'm going to consider these finished until I can nail down this last part. That is the actual arm decals. I mentioned before in my previous update that no one makes the insignia for the Polish 1st Armored Division. They'll have the red crescent service stripe over each shoulder in red, and that would say Poland on it. And right below it, on one of the sleeves, will be the Hussars, Winged Hussar logo. And just no one makes those. Now I do know a couple different companies that actually do custom decals, and so it shouldn't be too hard to arrange for that. But of course, there's money, and there's some investment in trying to find the right company for me anyway, because I'm going to want to make sure these guys have the right insignia on them eventually. So that will happen. I'm not going to do any special videos on it, but I will do a product review I shouldn't say if, but when I do order decals from whomever I'm going to order them from. So these are ready to go into battle. I can't wait to see these now that they're based on the tabletop, ready to go. Next on, I'm going to add the it's a lot of work to do on the Sherman yet, but that's coming along. The next thing I'll start doing is my 6-pounder anti-tank gun. So I'm very excited to see this finally get to finished. So that's 30 models off my model queue. So I'm finally down below 50. I think I have like 44 or 47 models left in the queue for the year. I'm not going to get them all done, but that's a huge difference from the 200 and something I started with. So I'm feeling pretty good. Well, thanks for sticking with me through this, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, please comment below. do share this with anybody you see who might be interested, especially if they play bolt action. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.